to really come out, I need to actually come out to someone. So the person that I chose to come out to, like to say, hey, this is the way it is, was my friend Kim from work. Hi, Kim! Hey everybody, and welcome to the Life with Laurie sound recording studio, aka the inside of the car. So today I want to talk to you. Last month was October, and that's when National Coming Out Day is. And even though I didn't make a video and tell my story about when I came out, I did see a lot of videos from others about theirs, and it made me realize that I never actually put my whole story out there. I've told people bits and pieces of it, but as far as my own personal journey, I've never really, told that to anyone. So today I'm going to talk about my own personal journey in coming out. I can tell you that my story, from watching other people tell their stories, I can tell you that that there were a lot of similarities, amongst people with their coming out stories. And mine is no different. I can remember feeling like I was different from a very early age, and I can tell you that my first woman crush was when I was just a little kid, and my mom's friend from high school took us to the theater to see The Sound of Music. And after that, I developed a crush on Julie Andrews, which really kind of lasts to this day. I still love me some Julie Andrews. Actually, I think all my crushes over the years still endure to this day. And but anyways, I didn't really know anything about that or what that meant at the time or anything like that. I was just like 5. I was just a little kid. And then as time progressed, I would say that I definitely knew something was going on, but I didn't want it to go on. And then by the time that I realized what it was, and that I had feelings for girls and not boys, and I liked boys and all, but like for friends to play with. And so I my family went to church, and I was not really raised in an environment where that was cool, and definitely didn't know any gay people. And my dad was in the military, moved around a lot, but when he got out of the military, we moved to Alabama, which is where my parents were from before my dad joined the military. And I can tell you that it wasn't cool. And so it was something really that I just tried to suppress all the time. And so the main outcome from that was that I just didn't do anything that didn't have any romantic teenage relationships. I didn't go to dances. I didn't anything that would revolve around high school romance or anything. I just didn't engage in that. And so that worked for me. And but I did still have my secret crushes. I had a crush on Christy McNichol. She was such a tomboy, and I crushed on her pretty hard. And then, like every lesbian of my age range, I had a hard crush on Joe from Facts of Life. I feel like I had conversations with people. That's pretty common. And Valerie Bertinelli. I got crushed pretty hard on Valerie Bertinelli. And That's pretty common, but I didn't really do anything. And then, I went to college. I did meet some gay people in college, but I was still pretty in hardcore suppression mode. And so, even though I hung out with them, I didn't tell them. And so, Wendy, if you happen to see this by some strange odd chance, I should have told you. But, what you gonna do? Anyways, then I didn't finish college. And I ended up joining the military. And at that time, that was actually before Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And they ask you, are you gay? Are you homosexual? Or have you ever engaged in homosexual activities? And well, since I hadn't done anything, I felt like I wasn't lying when I said no, because I hadn't done anything. Oh, that's not entirely true. When I was in college, I did kiss a girl at a party. But that was just that thing. And it just happened that one time. And I had never kissed a boy up until that point. I mean, a boy kissed me when I was like 5. But I didn't have any more boy kisses. And I did kiss a girl at college. But anyways, that was really nothing. And so I joined the military, where I knew a bunch of gay people, because even in 1987, the military was filled up with gay people, y'all. People like don't want gays to be in the military. They just don't want gays to serve openly, because I'm telling you, the gays are there. The gays are there. There's a lot of gays in the military, let me tell you. So anyways, but you can still get kicked out, and they actively tried to hunt people down and kick them out. So I just even though I hung with my gay friends, I was just I just didn't, and I even made out with some boys. And so I do know that making out with boys, just not my thing. Because I have made out with some boys when I was in the Army, because boys want to make out with you. And I was like, why not? I haven't really done anything. Let's see what happens. And nothing really happened, I gotta tell you. I can tell you that it didn't feel like anything to kiss a boy. But I could look at a photograph of girls kissing and be like, ah! So I knew something was up. I could watch a video of girls kissing and be like, I don't even want to talk about it. Especially in the 80s and 90s, when you didn't see that sort of thing very often. Woo! But making out with a real boy, it just didn't feel like anything. I mean, nothing. Like anything. And so I knew I was gay. But I didn't really come out to myself. Like I said, I still tried to suppress it, because I didn't want to get in trouble while I was in the Army and get kicked out, especially when I hadn't done anything. And so I still just take the lock on that one. And after I got out, I moved to Atlanta to look for work. I got a job, started making a living, got an apartment. And then I started, I fell into a group where it was okay to be gay. It didn't matter if you were gay. It was okay to be out. There was nothing to fear. There was no one was going to judge you. No one was going to kick you out of your job. There were no negative repercussions from being gay. You were just allowed to be yourself and to be gay. And it really wasn't until I reached that spot that I really came out to myself. And I can't tell you, even just to myself, I hadn't told anyone. I just accepted it for myself. And when I accepted it for myself, it was in the springtime of the year. And I cannot tell you, I've never been happier in my entire life than when I came out to myself. I remember the birds were singing and the flowers were just so beautiful. They just seemed brighter. Everything seemed brighter and more beautiful. And I just was just overcome with joy and happiness. I just can't tell you how awesome it was. But really, I still hadn't told anyone. I hadn't told anyone. That was just me coming out to myself. After all those years of just like pressing it down and wishing it would go away and not wanting it to be like that and all that, it was just like, and then I decided, well, to really come out, I need to actually come out to someone. So the person that I chose to come out to, like to say, hey, this is the way it is, was my friend Kim from work. Hi, Kim! I'm not sure if you knew you were the first one, but you were the first one. And we went to lunch, and man, it was like I was choking on it, trying to get it out. And it was just so emotional for me, and it was very difficult. And, but I did it, and she, of course, I knew she was going to be cool with it because she's cool like that. Kim is cool like that. And, so then I had to come out to my family, and my brother Rick was my roommate. We lived together for several years, and so he kind of figured it out just by the way things were going. But the rest of my family didn't know. And I wasn't sure how to tell them. The rest of the folks I hung out with, they all assumed it, so I just allowed them to assume it. So I didn't really have to come out to them, to all the gay people. I think they had assumed that I was gay the whole time. I mean, look at me. I look pretty much just like this. I mean, almost exactly like this. Maybe a few pounds lighter, but not significantly. But anyways, so then my next stumbling stone was my folks. But luckily or unluckily, my brother, who didn't know, accidentally found out, and so he told my parents, and so I ended up not having to come out to them, which was going to be a terrible, horrible struggle, and it was probably going to be way worse than when I could barely choke it out when I was talking to Kim, because I was just so nervous. I just don't know. I might have had a breakdown. I don't know. But so, in a way, I kind of lucked out. It caused some weirdness for me and my parents and family for a while, but eventually everybody got over it, and I'm lucky like that. And we never had harsh words or anything. It was just generalized strangeness, I would say. That having been said, we don't really talk about it that much, but everybody knows, and I don't care who knows. And I guess if it really came up, we talk about it, but it doesn't come. I mean, I bring my wife over to the house, and they all love Gina, so everything is good on that front. And I tried to fight it for so long, but now I would never go back. You know what I mean? I tried to fight it for religious reasons or whatever, but now I would never go back. I would never want to go back. I have no desire to be heterosexual, none whatsoever. And I used to wish I could be, but now, I'm free to be myself, and I'm happy to be myself, and I would like to continue to be free to be myself without any kind of significant worries. I mean, there's always some worries in the LGBT community because of the amount of homophobia out there. But as for me, in my personal life right now, it doesn't affect anything. And I've been out at my last several jobs, and nobody had a problem with it. And it was not a factor in any way. And that's cool. I mean, I guess that's one of the perks of living in a major city. I don't know how it would be if I lived back in the town where I graduated from high school. But I would like to think that everybody would be cool with it. I'd like to think that everyone at my high school would be cool with it, although I know some of them won't. I've talked to some who know, and I've talked to them about it. and they're cool with it. Hey, Donna. And so anyway, that's my coming out story. It's nothing too special, but and is probably identical to a bunch of other coming out stories that are out there. But anyways, I thought I would close out with a retrospective photographs of me through the years as a little emerging baby dyke, all the way up to a big, large, huge dyke. So enjoy that, and we'll see you next time. Peace!